Hi, Worm Ohana. We're here today at Kainalu Elementary, our third zero waste school. We started in January of 2017, and I just wanted to show you our beautiful, beautiful harvest. We finished the harvest and rebed of Kainalu's 2 worm bins, and we have ourselves about 120 pounds of the most beautiful vermicast. It absolutely amazes me every time that the worms make this gorgeous, gorgeous product from our cardboard and lots of food waste. And you've seen all the little flecks of vermicast starting to collect in your bins as they eat through the paper and they eat through the food. They're going to eat it over and over and over again until pretty soon your bin will be filled with this stuff. And that's when we'll do the harvest. So this is what you have to look forward to. Because we're doing no gardening during COVID, we're probably going to sell all of this. So it's $3 a pound. Why don't you do the math for me? I've got 120 pounds of vermicast at $3 a pound. Want to do the math? Okay, you got it? Okay, that's pretty good money the worms made for the school. So congratulations, worms, and thank you very much, kids, for helping out with our cardboard needs. They're all rebed and ready to go for another round. We'll harvest again in April. Okay, we're a little into 6 weeks or so, a little into the second month of our project, and by now you've realized a few things. You've realized it takes a couple of weeks for the worms to eat the food that you put down for them, so you always have to be ahead of them by a week or two, and it's going to sit there for a while and be ooey and icky, but that's okay. You always want to keep a lot of ooey, decaying, icky food in the bin because it's the abundance of food that stimulates the worms to reproduce. That's how they're dealing with this crisis of overabundance. Early on in this project, when we were just starting out, the other decomposers came to help with that crisis, but now that the worms are established, they're going to take care of the imbalance of too much food by making more worms. That's how they react to the overabundance of food. So you want to continue to keep that overabundance coming in. So those of you who started off very conservatively with just a few pounds of food, I'm going to ask you to get fearless with feeding and give them a little bit more. By now everybody should be on about 5 pounds of food a week. I'm going to jump to 8 pounds this week. I did 3, 5, 5, 5, 7. Now I'm going to do 8 because I'm starting to see lots of babies showing up, and I want to be sure to feed all those new mouths and to encourage them to continue to make babies. So here in our big bins, the exact same thing happens, and I really worry because I took a lot of worms out of here because we had a lot of worm sales. So I was putting a lot of food and thinking, oh my gosh, there's not enough worms to eat all this. But nope, they always come through, and when I go digging through, I can just reach down about anywhere and pull out a little bit of stuff, and it's just loaded with little baby worms, just tiny baby worms all over the place. So these guys are coming through for me, making babies in reaction to the overabundance of food. So be brave. Fearless feeders get the best results. So from here on out, you guys are going to feed a lot of good, rich food, and you will see all those babies coming. And that's my favorite part of this whole process, when we get a whole lot of reproduction, because the more worms you have, the more food waste they can eat, and the more vermicast they can produce. You see all those little flecks of vermicast starting to collect, and again, they'll be eating them over and over, and before long, you've got a bed of vermicast. So it can happen, but it needs to happen with a lot of worms, and you're on your way to building a big colony. By week 12, you guys are going to all have at least 1 pound of adult worms in there. So let's keep going. You're doing great. And thank you very much for sending pictures. I love seeing your reports and answering your questions online. So if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. I'll get back with you as soon as I can. And it's fun, right? Everyone's having a good time with this. I know I am. And thanks again for all your cooperation. Don't forget to report your data, okay? We are well over 700 pounds at this moment. Maybe by the time we talk again, we will be over the half-ton mark, 1,000 pounds.